Hello Bellas, welcome to your reading today. Today we're going to be doing a energetic check-in, so to say, for the month of September. I know it's a little late and I'm posting this and I apologize for that. A lot of urges to really just like chill out and staycate the days away. So I did, and I appreciate all your patience. But regardless, with that being said, the September 2022 check-in energetically, I have 4 piles here for all of y'all. And with that in regards, we have pile number 1 with Lily and these beta octagonal, sorry, I don't know why I just said it like that, quartzes. And like pick piles, right? We got piles of stones. And then for pile number 2, we have primrose. And we also have this labradorite. Select few here. I have here for pile number 3, the gloxina. But I have quite a few green aventurines, especially a couple I just recently got. So we have this composite of green aventurines for pile number 3. And for pile number 4, you have the yellow Venice mallow with the lapis lazuli, or lazuli, however you say. And there you go, it's a little more of a close-up of your stone, your crystal. But alrighty, for that being said, I would love to jump into your readings, into your piles, so I will certainly meet y'all there. And until then, ciao. Welcome, pile number 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, so just to already get started in your reading, I am feeling the number 4 for y'all, and I'm probably going to be picking cards in like sequentials of 2s and 4s because I know we have 5 quartzes here, but I don't know, I'm just being called to the number 4, so I'm going to put that one out there and say it off the bat. But not only were you, pile number 1, drawn to the octagonal quartz, but we have the lily, which serves for majesty and virtue. So the lily is the emblem of rare, of many virtues, good and rare. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's scratch that. The lily is the emblem rare, of many virtues, good and rare, but it's quoted by unknown. Okay, so that is the artistic depiction. I'm gonna actually read more. Let's go under, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read from the book what our lily stands for here. Oops, just saw it. Okay. So not only do we have the quote, but lilies are among the most exalted flowers in the world, held in high regard and long considered sacred by numerous ancient civilization. So in Christian lore, the lily is said to have sprang from the repent tears of Eve after her expulsion from the Garden of Eden, but the lily was also regarded as the symbol of the Virgin Mary's purity. In pagan and Christian cultures and throughout Victorian times, ooh, I love this, the lily was a sign of chastity before marriage and fertility afterwards. So, okay, off the bat, this is a very significant time for y'all to be understanding your royal becomings, if that makes sense. I hope it does. I was also seeing, when I was reading this, the Lover's card, which reminds me a lot of the Garden of Eden, so to say. And then the devil kind of looks like the same couple from the Lovers after they've taken, you know, not that indulging is the worst thing in the world, but depicted in such, and Christian lore was always said to be. So with the lily though, I don't get the devil, I get pure lover vibes as well. So there might be a partnership that you're stepping into. This chapter is gonna start opening up for you, but I just got put to the lover scene. I don't know. So we'll see. If that card comes out, that's definitely confirmation. But the inspirational message here is it's not about what you say or what you feel that most importantly matters. It's not enough to talk about what's virtuous. In the end, it's what you actually do that counts. So let your actions come from virtue. I remember I had this curiosity about a year ago as to what the word virtue actually meant. And I'm not gonna have the best definition of it now. So I'm gonna probably put the definition of virtue I'm gonna make a note of that somewhere before I forget. The definition of virtue in the description below for y'all, because virtues are actually kind of what the souls and the universal laws play around are the virtues of life. That's like what the soul maps around. There's patience is a common known virtue, honesty, integrity, love. Like there's certain virtues. I might be outspeaking, but yeah, that also is very much sticking out to me. So there's a lot of integrity in who you are. They're honing in your soul to be able to step into your royalty. And then there might be a relationship that either allows you to open up to another sector of a virtue you didn't know you were capable of capacitating. But I feel like there's just a lot of love and awakening already, and purity, action taking, you know, integrity, standing up for who you are. And that's already quite a lot I just got from your pile number ones, just from that one card. So I'm gonna get into the tarot, and this is just an energetic check-in. I'm not really trying to put a constraining question on this. Oh my goodness, so many cards. Yeah, Spirit loves to do that to me. Give me like tons of cards to work with, so I will take it, but okay. All right, we're gonna go with that. So here we have, this is a new deck. Wow. The Knight and the Page of Wands, and then we have the Queen and the King of Wands. Now this is a new deck, so wow, that's pretty powerful that all these wands energy came out, which is a lot of action. So it looks like there's an actionable like idea that's going to be spoken to you, that's going to spark your creativity. Then there's not only that, but then there's going to be the action taken forward. Wands is very fast-paced energy, so it's going to be a very quick whirlwind next 30 days for y'all, that's for sure, to a very powerful outcome. Like I just love how this is just very majesty and virtue, like royalty and enlightened soulment. Like that is just the pop wow statement here for y'all. Now I also have, I love the orangey colors, especially now that we're stepping into fall, by the way, might I point out. Oh, the light is so powerful on this, you can't see. But how beautiful are all those oranges, not only up here, we got down here. Just want to point that out. I just want to point that out. I also want to point out the blue that's popping up in the Knight's horse's gear. There's something about that that's very, it not only speaks of just like you're going to be stepping into your next action phase in style, but there's going to be a high sense of enlightened communication about it too. So I'm also using the Halloween tarot deck because, yeah, it's fall. I'm hyped. I already started decorating my house. I'm very much in love with that. So I am using the Halloween tarot deck because, I mean, I use it all year round because this is definitely my favorite season. It's just such a vibe. Oh, such a vibe. But yeah. Okay. So we got the Chariot first out. The Ace of Pumpkins, the Three of Ghosts. Fascinating. So the Three of Ghosts is a very celebratory card, and I get King and Queen already. Queen and King, yes, energy, and Three of Ghosts are very much duality and celebration. There's a partnership coming forward, a very passionate but a very powerful partnership coming forward, something worth celebrating. There's a Chariot shows up, which you can't go wrong when your soul is being led by such divine guidance, such as the Chariot, and that's really heavily the energy of the Chariot, divinely guided. And I love too that we have the Ace of Pumpkins underneath this like inspiration section here, where it's just like you're getting inspired messages not only from people, but you're getting like inspired action too, which is quite divine, and it's quite the creator's experience, like the creator's journey. And then here you have the Ace of Pumpkins, which is once again another divine card regarding outcomes that are very monetarily worth it. So I mean, you have the lilies, they came out again. That's wild. Oh, I'm just noticing that. That is confirmation that there is very much a virtuous time for you, a very powerful, positive time for you in the next 30 days. So that's just phenomenal. That's a great energy to be in. Well done. Congratulations. But to get back to this card, this is like, look at the pumpkin full of candy. This one pumpkin has a lot of abundance to do with it. And you have this airy hand of spirit handing you in the next 30 days, something that's going to not only inspire you creatively, passionately light up your soul, but financially reward you. And you're just going to see the two connecting the dots, how the one idea is going to make the money, and then how the money is going to get you here in this position of power. But not only that, like, just you're sitting up on your, you could say empire, I'm hearing. But just in life, you're being regarded quite highly for what you did, said, and conquested, so to speak. There's a lot of celebration about this too. And then also that came out was the Creator card and the Two of Imps, which is the Two of Wands, which isn't always the 11-11 card like the Four of Wands, but it's definitely a card that signifies looking out on your dreams and conquering them all. So I find that very interesting, that there's a massive achievement written all over this spread already, just with the tarot. So with that being said, we're going to get into some of the oracle decks. And this is the Wild Mystic Oracle deck. And love this deck. So much symbolism to do with each card is its own animal. Yeah, it's a very great deck. So, and it's gold. Yeah, love it. Okay, so here we have, wow, fascinating message. The bear. If I'm getting this thought that popped into my head is, the lion is the king of the jungle. But the jungle exists only in certain parts of the world. In other parts of the world, there's the forest, and there's the tundras, and the bear is mightier than even the sleek and powerful wolf, so to say. Like, the bear is probably the king of the forest. So, quite a powerful representation depicted right there. But I find interesting too that there's this resting phase, and almost like a hermit phase. The hibernation is heavily enforced in the lifestyle of the bear. Maybe that's also why the bear was able to become so strong and powerful over the ages, because it takes the time to rest for so long. But I really also enjoy this. It's not so much the flower of life, but you could see it as the starting of. But there's all of these different, it's like a wheel, right? And there's different parts of the wheel, different cycles of life. But there's also not only that, the abundance flowering from this rest period. So there might be there's a lot of ancient wisdom that talks about how there's a lot of action and non-action, right? Like, nature literally stands still, but yet everything gets done. So I'm being called to tell you that message, because I know you might have a lot of big dreams, pile number one, and you might be getting blessed with a lot of ideas and ways to get there. But this is all divinely guided. It will all happen in divine timing. What you see is for sure what's going to fruition. You just got to take it one step at a time, and make sure to rest. Make sure to rest. Okay. So we have two cards that came out for this deck. We have, my most important relationship is with my source. Ooh, look at that inner, getting back to self energy. Once again, fascinating. And our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. You know what I like about this? There's just a lesson in life that I learned. It takes all types to make the world go round. Whether that type aligns with how you feel they should or not, it's God's will. There can't be a million pile number one peoples all over the world. It'd be a little boring. Like, you need variability. So I really like that too. And that's interesting. It's like there are the two imps are not always, they're like not too happy right there, but there's the happy pumpkin figure just like pulling them apart. I remember I initially said for you pile number ones that there's going to be just like a dynamic that calls you out but makes you think differently on something. So there might be, the cards are indicating that pictorially here, but there's definitely just like a collaboration. There's this one deck that I love, and I see like there are 3 of cups and it's just 3 different people, just so different, variable, but coming together in celebration. And also the 2 of wands usually has the world on it, and I'm getting just like a combination of multitudes of demographics coming together too. So you might just have a very global idea on the brain when it comes to this next idea, this next step. It's definitely what I'm getting. But there's going to have to be a lot of connecting to source, but connecting with yourself, because like the whole universe exists within you. And I love that there's this synchronicity of that same message placed here. Okay, so there is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you and your physical body right here, right now, and the soul source God from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, fabulous. The rest, once again, your relationship with your own body, with money, with your parents, children, grandchildren, and your world will all fall easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental relationship first. That is a very powerful synchronicity, and I'm just going to point out the obvious orange in indicating sacral. And if this was a figure, a body figure outline, this would definitely be around the sacral chakra area. And we have, I know I picked kind of cards that have to do with fall, but there's a lot of orange. Let's be real. The Creator card came out with this big circle of orange. You have the Ace of Pumpkins, another circle of orange. You got all this orange in the outline here, and it came out here in this card. So I really love that. I really love that. Take time to tend to yourself. And I do have a self-care card that we're gonna pick next, just so you know. But the card I picked, which is in the Tree Magic deck, is this, 22, the cherry tree. So every spring is a new beginning, bearing a multitude of budding possibilities. But there's also the word of vulnerability. I pointed out immediately the 22. That immediately, like, you might be starting to see the number 22 as a way that's guiding you. That's a synchronous number saying, hey, you're on the right path. Like, what you're thinking, what you're doing is working. That number 22 will be very important for you. Not only the next 30 days, but just like continue to watch that number as you're going to be guided. But there might be some of you liking cherries. I'm getting that as a personal indication. But also we have the bird in this. We have the bird in this deck, in this tree, and that just, with the little cherry in his mouth, so it just gives me also this page energy, this messenger energy. And there's divine messages coming through to you at this time. And you're gonna start opening up to more of them the more you are honest with yourself, first and foremost, but when you start taking care of yourself. So here's some cards that popped up for you, pile number ones. Use your hands. Ooh, I love this crafting energy. I love the crafting energy. This might be a time for you where there might be some difficulties, there might be some losses, there might be some hardships you've had to overcome. But regardless if there isn't, expressing yourself with, not only in this exploration, there's pottery, so I love ceramics. That was one of my favorite classes. I try to take it all the time in college and high school, but you can only do so much. So there's other things to do with your hands. I'm gonna point out, like gardening, drawing, art and painting. There is crocheting and, needle thread work that you can put into action. Other than that, nothing's coming to mind. Oh, you can make some Halloween decorations for your house or for your living space. Just saying, crafting. Like, I'm just getting heavily crafting energy. And of course there's hands in this picture diagram. Oh gosh, excuse me. But a massage is definitely being indicated at this time. Moving your body, getting the energy flowing, that is something that is so healing, very therapeutic, and definitely being called out to you at this time by spirit. That's going to be very beneficial over the next 30 days. I see like the barefoot, so earthing, like the earth has and holds so many electrons. You got so many crystals and stones all up and down inside the earth's core. And that, when you spend about 30 minutes barefooted outside, your body absorbs and receives those positive electrons, which help align your body. Once again, your body is an electric pulses. I'm digressing, but that's how we function. So when you do something simple as that, you're going to reduce anxiety. There's anti-inflammatory benefits to earthing that have been scientifically proven. There's probably a scientific article that could explain it a little better than me, but I'm just saying that is definitely being called to at this time. And at the bottom of the deck, we have hydrate. So look at that. That is a self-care magnifique tip, I must say. Now, for all y'all here in pile number 1, I think this is a very powerful message, a very powerful conquesting message of your dreams coming true. The next 30 days are going to definitely kickstart that for you if you're not going to start already seeing signs of that for you. But pile number 1, I also got this really cute book, this Nature's Hidden Oracle, recently. And I wanted to do a little indication of maybe some signs that Spirit is going to send to you more specifically this next month, that is going to give you a little helpful push, or if you see it, it's going to be like a confirmation for you. So let's do it. Pile number 1. Okay. Whoa. We got page 110 and page 111. So I know I was saying 222 is going to be significant, but here we go with the 110 and the 111. So there's definitely the 1111s, and you got the 2 of Wands. So just to say, spiral. That is so fascinating. Okay, so spiral is what came out of Oracle of Stones. This is the chapter on the stones, and you have a spiral here. So an ancient anchored symbol, the spiral signifies our journey through life and the cycles of nature. So definitely journey. Wow. And the cycles, spirals were carved as a pattern on the entrance stone of the Neolithic Passage Tomb at Newgrange, Ireland, and this may be a solar symbol, as during the winter solstice, light enters the underground chamber through an opening and illuminated the whole space. As this occurs during the season's dimmest days, it's seen as a signifier of new life, the triumph of light and life over darkness. So creating a spiral can be seen as a meditative practice. Focusing purely on what you're doing with your hands and enjoying the process can help relax your thinking. So to make a spiral, work with small stones that you may find nearby, or maybe go on an earthing walk and collect some stones, and then, make a little spiral out of it, pile number 1s. But this is a huge call out with the 1s at the bottom. I hope I said that already. But anyway, pile number 1, this is a big confirmation already just on that. But I'm getting, not only do you have to make spirals with your stones, as the page indicated, but I'm getting the indication of like the golden ratio, the 369, that spiral motion. There's going to be some spirals playing out for you, pile number 1s, and they're going to serve as confirmations. I'm getting that right off the bat. But definitely, you have big dreams. Don't be afraid to make them happen, but also get vulnerable with yourself. Like, take care of yourself. And if there's anything that you can do at this time, have fun with the fall energy. The color orange is definitely screaming your name and wants to say, like, play with me. So get creative with anything to do with the fall and the upcoming Halloween seasons. Get some, carnelian is a great crystal for the sacral chakra. So yeah, that I really feel like is all the messages I'm getting right now, but they're very powerful. I really appreciate being able to read your energy, pile number 1. So thank you for taking the time to do that with me today. And until our next time, I'll see you then. Ciao. Now, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So today you have picked, the calling card you picked is the Primrose, which I love this card because there's the deep reds and there's also this beautiful moth that has the 3 wings, which isn't naturally occurring, but we have youthful love depicted as the primrose, right? So I had a single flower for every time I think of you. I could walk forever in my garden. Claudia Adrienne Grandi, which is just a beautiful poetic way of saying how much they love someone. So there's definitely love in the air for the next 30 days as your September energy. And with lepidolite, there's a lot of just pure magic associated with this stone. So I don't know if you're being called to take lepidolite into your energy at this time, or if you have any, maybe you should keep it a little bit more closely. I personally keep my crystals in my bra. Fun fact. Okay. I digress, but let's get to what the actual message with Primrose is. Okay. I feel like I was right there. There we go. Okay. So Primrose is the sacred flower of Freya, the Norse goddess of love. How about that? Pile number 2. How about that? So its Latin name Primula means first rose of spring, and it is also the flower of the first love. So in the secret language of flowers, the yellow primrose conveys messages between your lovers. I can't live without you. The purple primrose represents confidence, and through the ages, brightly colored primrose have inspired poets, including Shakespeare, Burns, Milton, and Wordsworth. Highlighted here for me is that there is this young new love. So maybe, I don't know if you're all in a relationship or expecting to be in one, but there's definitely a lot of newness in your energy. Pile number 2, new love energy, just heavily new love. That's, maybe you're calling that in, a new love of your life, so to say. There's something you've been energetically working with. So Spirit definitely is hearing that, or they're definitely letting you know of that. So inspirational messages pieces. When we are young, we are willing to take chances for love. And as we go through life, we should remember that youthful confidence and embrace in all we do. So always keep your whole heart open. Love is all around. That is really actually cool that they brought down to that, because I mean, when we are children, we just go willy-nilly, open-hearted into situations, fully enthusiastic, and it's just one of those best outcome starters. If you start that way, you're just guaranteed for some of the best outcomes. And I know it's hard when love hurts and you put a wall up, and that just truly, you start to take things personally. It's just, that's how life, is taught you to be, to get hard. But there's a lot of open up your heart energy too. So I know lepidolite, or not lepidolite, labradorite is not the best. It might be good for heart chakra because this is kind of green, but if there is any type of green crystals that are speaking to you, I mean, that would be very helpful for you too. I'm getting that heart chakra energy might be blocked for you, my pile number 2s, and that might be why there's something that's stopping you, and there might be some traumas around love that you've associated, or concurred in your lifetime. Truly apologetic for that. But there is always the positive of what's going to happen for you in the future, and that's what this whole thing is just implying for you. Not only that, but get into that childish energy too. That creative, that inspired, that willing, young, childlike energy. I feel like that is being indicated too as something that's going to be powerful for you. Pile number 2s. Okay. So, all right, I didn't even get to shuffle these that much, and we already have the 7 of Cups coming up. Interesting. And there's that greenish, oops. And we got the next cards that fell on the floor. But the 7 of Cups is an interesting set of cups, so to say, because usually you have all these choices and you don't know what to do with them. And that is maybe something to do with love, because also the Cups is a very emotional suit. It's very highly intuitive suit as well, which this stone tends to be very helpful with. We also got the World. Whoa. So major chapter, life chapter significance event, like closing of a chapter, but I feel like there's decision about how you're going to not only influence the world, but how you're going to make the world better. Like there's just something about the world that's on your mind, and there's just so many different ways to go about it. Yeah. But the weight of the world does not fall on you, my sweet, beautiful pile number 2s. So don't take that one so much, so heavily. Okay, so we got the 4 of Swords. Ooh, the 4 of Swords is an interesting card because it tells me that there's just like this golden idea that you have that you don't have to keep looking outwardly for. It's within. And usually or scientifically you could say, the purpose of dreaming and going to sleep is so your brain has time to rewire, rework, and formulate possible outcomes of certain decisions. So if you have an idea in your mind and you don't know how to get to the solution, take a nap and your brain will actually formulate the clear channel to get to that solution. That's something that's commonly scientifically associated with the purpose of dreams and the purpose of sleeping. And the 4 of Swords actually is somebody taking a nap on that golden sword. Like that's what the card naturally depicts. But I'm just very called to this World card. So there's definitely something significant that's on your mind that you feel is significant to the greater good of the world. But there's also a duality depicted here. There's also like 2 engaged in this achievement. 2, yeah. Oh, how did I miss that? Right, so I don't know if pile number 2 y'all are single, but there's definitely an indication of love, and a very powerful one at that. There's definitely this relationship is going to be one that you help change the world with. This dynamic duo, this inspiring couple, this power couple, so to say. Like that's just what I'm getting, and that's definitely in your energy for the next 30 days. Pow. Wow. And with the Ace of Cups too, that's new, it's fresh, it's inspired, and it's new love also, once again, but it's like overflowing with love. Like you have a full cup that you can pour out into the rest of the world. And usually water is that significance of like emotional well-being, emotional intelligence. Your emotional IQ, I do see, is going to be up. So I get that up. That's like why the swords, they came in upward tone. Okay, so I also love this deck, this Halloween tarot deck. With it being September, it is fall. I tried to sneak some little fall decorations into our spread here today. Okay, so I'm very excited that we got fall in our reading. But here we have it. So we have the 9 of Imps, the Ace of Imps, which actually is Wands, the 5 of Ghosts, which is Cups, 7 of Cups, once again, 4 of Ghosts, which is the 4 of Cups. There's definitely an indecision of the mind that is weighing on the mind for you. That is also coming through. And I think there's like a worry about like, oh, will this love come in? Like, oh, will, you know, my dreams work out? Oh, will everything essentially be like, you might be taking on too much. So there's definitely an indication of that too. And we have the Page of Pumpkins. All right, so that was a good deal of energy, but we have an overwhelmment with the 9 of Wands and with the 7 of Cups. Like there's an indecision based off an overwhelmment. So maybe taking a nap, as the 4 of Swords originally depicted, really could be helpful for you at this time. But we have the Ace of Imps, so like the Ace of Wands. There is an inspired idea that's going to come through for you divinely, very much divine, because you have this divine hand in the clouds coming through with all this energy. And it's with the leaves around Imp, this fall time is really also going to be something that you're getting to step into your creative energy. Lessen the load though. Have like the 2/3 rule, right? If you have 3 goals, set out to accomplish 2 of those 3 goals throughout the day. And I can think that that might help you get through this one step at a time. The 4 of Ghosts and the 5 of Ghosts. These are 2 cards saying, like, look, you're not seeing the positives as well in what's actually in your life. You're focusing on what you don't have, or you're focusing on what didn't work out. And that's not going to help you move forward either. So that's something that's advice from Spirit coming through. And with the 7 of Cups coming through twice, I would love to highlight that this indecision is definitely weighing on your mind. And you can see with the girl here, like, the spirits are trying, you know, the moon is happily looking down on her. The spirits are trying to coerce and make her happy and show her what's good, and she just won't see it. And maybe because there's a lot of stress on your mind too. So, which swords coming out can sometimes indicate stress. And with the way this is spread coming through, it's indicating stress. With the way that she's looking, I mean. But anyway, on a positive note, there's definitely plenty to look forward to and not to have stress come over for. And that's where the emotional intelligence is stepping up. That's where there's going to be a new love that's going to inspire you for sure. And then there's also the Page of Pumpkins. So what that tells me is that somebody is coming through on the earthly plane, like another person is going to talk to you about something, and all of a sudden it's going to trigger an idea. And you're going to have a lot of fun getting creative and inspired over this idea, but this idea could fruition into something very fortunate financially as well. And it's one idea. So it's going to help you focus on one, hone down, you know, get rid of the rest. And it's kind of that minimalism, but with how you're going to take on all your creative approaches. So there's a lot of scattered mind, but this is also very positive as to you're honing down on that scattered approach. You're getting your ducks in a row, and you're going to step by step methodically take them on, right? On? Yes. Okay. So, time for the oracle. Oh. So we got 2 cards that already fell. Everything actually fell on the floor for the most part for you, pile number 2. I apologize for that, but that is a very strong action in the cards for, I don't know what it means, but, you know, maybe it'll come to me. So we got 2 things, family and fear came out for you, pile number 2s. So that immediately you could coincide that with fear around family situations, fear around how things with your family are going to work out. But this anxiety is basically stemmed in fear that you're not going to be able to take care of everything. And that might be true. I did get like taking on the weight of the world, but by yourself, it is scary. But when you're not alone, it's not that bad. It really actually can become quite the journey that you'll look back on and enjoy with hindsight type of thing. So take away the fear that you're in this alone. If it's not your family that you feel like you can rely on, then lean on spirit, lean on source, lean on your higher power, whoever and however that may be. If you don't have one, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia is always willing and able to, probably already has opened up her arms to you and your energy, because that's how the mother works, right? So that's a very interesting message that came up, but it definitely aligns, because I can sense that there is some overbearing, like just too much going on, and it's clouding your judgment. So if there's anything I'm gonna say, definitely take a nap, okay? So the number 28 came out, and there are many right ways for us to behave. Very powerful. Look at all the different selves within the self coming through in the imagery as well. But a surrendered posture. It's just opening up my heart and my mind, opening up my posture, my arms to the divine is just really the sense that I'm getting with the artwork there. So what this card's saying is, it is possible to live upon this planet with large number of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways. So in peace, when you're able to focus in such a way as to allow your alignment with Source, even though others are choosing to behave differently than you are, then you will truly be free from bondage of attempting the impossible task of getting everyone to agree on one right way. One right way would lead to endedness, many right ways will allow eternal expansion. You know, that's interesting. That message kind of came up for pile number 1s too, where it's like it takes all types of people to make the world go round. Like, as much as I do love myself, I don't think I could handle 50 more of myself in the close vicinity. Like, that would be either A, boring, and we wouldn't really get anywhere, because you need multiple perspectives, you need multiple ideas. That's part of the infinite universe that we live in. So there might be some type of alignment with ideas and your family too that's coming up, or just people in your near surroundings. But I also feel like there's people who are aligned with you and you haven't met them yet, are also aligning into your surroundings. So there's a soul family alignment too, but I'm also getting a soulmate energy, because with the world and these two, you know, spiritual angels on the same card, it's just a very divine union for sure. And it's just like many different divergence of your soul family also coming together. And we have the word family here also depicted, and just like stepping out of your fear of thinking you're alone. Okay, so here we have the Tree Magic Oracle. And what is the energy for pile number 2? Stepping forward here. Ooh! The hazelnut tree with number 44. That's not an official master number, but I like to classify it as one. It's a very secure master number if I was to classify it as anything. So we have your protection and good luck help you to advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. Ooh. Hold tight to those dreams, because you certainly have spirit and luck on your side. I don't know if you're somebody who believes in luck, but if you're someone that believes in karma, that is definitely rewarding you within the next 30 days. And honestly, continuationally, but let's just say that. So, I am a big believer in self-love. I think it is the ultimate journey to connecting with yourself and like purposing your life back, putting purpose back in your life. I don't know why I said that backwards, but I have these self-love cards that we are going to call for pile number 2. And we have multitude that came out. Okay. Screw it. Let's go through it. So, make a meal. Fantabulous. I love that. Spend time with animals, you guys calling you. Okay. And when you make a meal, put intention of love into the whole practice of making the meal, or when you set it forward. Create. There's definitely, I love how that's like over the page and the ace of pumpkins and wands, because there's creative fortune coming through. You guys might be an artist, which there's definitely going to be an idea around creative energy. Ooh, read and research. I love that. I love that. Research really is a perspective. Like whenever you read a book, it's a whole new perspective you're stepping into. And a lot of creatives go and travel to get into that new creative energy, to get a new perspective. And it's very inspired when you do. I get inspired on the daily every time I read. So let me just say that. And 44 came out again, fascinatingly enough, with sex. So, pile number 2, there's definitely an indication of somebody very much aligned with your divine counterpart coming through for you. And it's a very much instant knowing I'm getting to with this sex card coming out. But there's a lot that you can partake in, or you're being called to at this time, to care for yourself. Spending time with nature and animals, I'm getting the vibe of, is going to be very beneficial, especially with the fall season coming around. Heavily beneficial. Reading, I love to get cozy. Like, this is such cozy sweater weather that gets me such in a vibe, and I'm very excited about it. So reading is certainly something that is very much energetically called for, at least with me, with some tea and some cozy sweats, and I just get all into it. So, that being said, and creating art. I find that wintertime is really great for that, and the fall, because, you know, it's very much cold outside, and there's a lot of like hibernation inner work we love to do in this time. So the last message that I wanted to pull out for you, pile number twos, was I just got this really cute book from Barnes & Noble called The Natures of Hidden Oracles. And I wanted to pull a page that really would be a strong, divinely guided message from Spirit, like something that's going to be very synchronistic for you, like that you can have, maybe it's not so much now, but have an open mind in the next 30 days, something Spirit, I invite you to ask your spirits to like, that guides you to give you these messages in line with this. And yeah, that'll serve as confirmation for you on this journey once again. So I love doing this. So here, for pile number two, we got page 100 and 101, so 3 ones standing out here. And we got Oracle of the Stones. So stone meanings, there's all sorts of textures in the meaning of stones, colors, and shapes. So what this is telling me is there's going to be maybe a high influx of crystal acquisition in your life, or there might be something to do with understanding how crystals work in your aura or your energy and implicating them for the betterment of like self-love. I'm getting that too. But you're really getting in tune with how different crystals, there might be certain crystals that really just pop out to you. I'm getting that energy as well. So crystals being the guided message that come through for you. And remember, your original stone is labradorite, which is a stone of pure magic, and it is a crystal. So I don't know if that's something that is a crystal that comes into your energy or something that comes across your feed. Maybe it could be specifically this one. But just know that if you step into your divine guidance, co-creating this life with Spirit, let go of your worries, because there's going to be a lot of spiritual moments that are going to inspire you in the next 30 days energetically, and be open to all opportunities. I'm seeing that as well. So my pile number twos, thank you so much for being here and with me and taking this time. It was an absolute pleasure to read your energies, my Bellas, and I look forward to it again in the future. So until then, until next time, ciao, my bells. My pile number threes, welcome to your reading. So today your calling card that you chose was the Gloxina, which initially indicates love at first sight and proud spirit. I love that. That really resonates for me, at least, is that proud spirit part, where it's just like not only inspired, but you're just very confident and very self-loving, and there's just that new love for yourself energy that I'm getting for you at this time, energetically, especially the next 30 days. And the quote is actually a William Shakespeare quote. And it says, "When I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew." Which I love. It's very much soulmate, love at first sight energy that's calling out to. And then y'all were very called to this pile of green aventurine that I got out here for this reading. And more specifically for you, pile number 3. And green aventurine is very much an abundance stone. It not only is for the heart chakra, which is all about love, for that green energy, right? But it's very much a stone that I know a lot of witches that commonly incorporate green aventurine into their spells, and will just get randomly a good deal of random money in their bank account. So there might just be that. But since you're pile number 3 too, I feel called to say that 3 is a number of abundance and fertility and all that good stuff. So if y'all aren't feeling it yet, you will be feeling it, my Bellas. Very abundant, very fortuitous, fortunate, grateful, blessed, all the good vibes and feels within the next 30 days. And I'm feeling it's a lot to do with yourself. But anyway, let's get into, I like to read what the message of the calling card really has for us today. And for Gloxina, The message that the author decided to write is the aromatic Gloxina flower was first identified by Gloxin, an 18th century German botanist in the jungles of Brazil and Central America. To the discoverers who came upon this showery flower and the Victorians who immediately became enamored of it, the Gloxina signifies love at first sight. So that's kind of what its Victorian love language message meant. When closed, the flower had a trumpet-like shape, and when opened, the 5 velvety petals form a bell. The tropical plant is drawn to warm, bright light, and the Gloxina has also a shamanic significance embodying the proud spirit. And yeah, we have this yellow butterfly here with the dots that are almost like mirror-like. So, very creative I'm also getting. The inspirational message is there are rare moments in life when you meet someone and you know in an instant that this person will be important to you for a long time. People come into our lives to teach us the lessons we are ready to learn. Dang. Some stay for a while, leave footprints on our heart, and we are never, ever the same. Flavia Widden. Interesting. Very interesting. There's like lessons in growth was what I got from that inspirational message. And like people that you're going to meet in life, and especially maybe importance in the next 30 days. There's going to be a lot of internal growth, which also once you change your personality, you change your personal reality. So internal growth is key for dream life achievement, but definitely getting abundance. Very much so. So pile number 3, the first card that we got from the tarot is 10 of Cups. Hi. 10 of Cups is emotional abundance, high emotional intelligence, but just emotional fulfillment in general is achieved through that emotional intelligence. So that's what I'm getting with that self-love initially, like love it first. You're just so proud of who you've become. And this is not something that maybe it was just like overnight you saw yourself, because Rome wasn't built in a day. This was a self-cultivated love over time, and something to be very proud of. But you're going to be feeling very blessed and grateful. I'm definitely getting that energy for you, pile number 3s, over the next 30 days. So step into your abundance. Y'all Bellas, step into your abundance. It is calling to you. Okay. Tarot, any other messages for my pile number 3s? I'm going to take these 3 because, yeah. Very interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Page of Cups. Let's start off with that. So very much a person delivering a message that is going to change you internally. Very interesting. That is also being signified. But here we have the Knight of Cups, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, okay, hard. It might be a little hard at first, the change, but once you're a weathered self-awarenesser, so to say, this change it gets easier. It gets so much easier to accept who you are, and that self-awareness is actually like a superpower in today's reality. I just would love to point that out there. To be self-aware is a freaking superpower. So at first it might be hard, but you're going to take the action forward. And look at this overflowing cup that is coming from you, you're now taking action with this overflow of love. Like there's just definitely a high significance of abundance for you. Pile number 3, which I love because that was right off the bat something that we got for you. And if there's something that, if you don't have green aventurine in your collection of crystals, my fellow Bellas, please be well advised to acquire. Let's just say that. But you're definitely taking action towards self. You're taking action towards your dream life. You're taking action towards what's going to satisfy you, not only right now, but in the long run. And this is giving me like not only a once upon a time, but a happily ever after. And that's where you're heading, right? That is where you're heading. And okay, so there are rare moments in life when you meet someone and you know in an instant that this person will be important to you for a long time. People come into our lives to teach us lessons we are ready to learn at that time. There's definitely someone delivering a strong message to you in the next 30 days. Holy hooah. I love that synchronicity, but it really does give you the strong message of, you can't miss that message. So I'm gonna repeat it for y'all. Pile number 3. You can't miss it. There's nothing you can do to create nor prevent it. So just have an open mind, continue on through life, and it might come to you as something that's gonna like resonate, and it might not, and then it might come to you later in time, but you might realize. So now we have the Magician. Did I not say that that's self-awareness, self-reflection, to be able to like rationally accept and change what you don't like is truly a superpower? And then we have the Magician underneath that as like an alchemy. King of Ghosts, King of Cups. Did I? Yeah. I really got the sense of emotional intelligence with this 10 of Cups as well, which usually 10 of Cups is abundance, but here we have the King of Ghosts, who is the most emotionally intelligent, and 3 of Imps. Wild. So swords and wands aren't always depicted as the same, because they're not, but they also have similar qualities. Not only are they both the fastest, I'm going to repeat that, suit in tarot, but they also, I mean, they're long, and they're wand-like swords, and wands are long, and they're, anyway, I could digress, but I just find it interesting that we have the wands and the swords, but the 3 come out for the 2 of them, connecting this as well. So it's definitely a quick, inspired, truthful action forward. There's the truth. You're stepping into your truth as well. Very passionately. Very, very passionately. Okay. And I really love that for you. That just is very much, and the sun. That's where you're going. Happily ever after. Off into the sun. That is where you're going. That is because you put into yourself. That is because you've cultivated from a place of self-love. That is why now the possibilities, the opportunities, the ideas, the channels of where and how your life is going to look, that's going to fulfill your soul, that's opening up for you because you got in touch with your soul. So not only congratulations, because you're going to start seeing signs of abundance from that, but I very much look forward to what you're going to, you know, uncover as your dream reality, as your future. So we got here from Wild Mystic cards are freedom and heal. Whoa, I love that. Yeah, the self-love and the healing of you and your emotional traumas, your emotion of your reality. You went after it and you healed it, and you put in the work to do it. That is Spirit confirming that it's a job well done. It's a job well done. And this freedom, where are we going? Happily ever after with the sun too. Oh my gosh, look at that lotus in the background. It's just like also signifying that like sun. Yeah, I really love that for you. Pile number 3. Oh, bells, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. That's incredible. Because to be honest, to be healed is freedom in itself. And healing is a continual journey, and it's part of what brings us a more mature soul. It evolves our soul to heal on this earth. So congratulations for accepting the challenge, but it doesn't become a challenge anymore. Over time, actually, your perspective changes, and you realize that all that you've had to heal from are the many blessings that you grew from, and the many wisdoms you've attained in this lifetime. So, well done. Very impressed. Pile number 3. Okay, so we have, it's getting into the vortex. This is one of my newer decks with Esther and Jerry Hicks, which are very much powerful people in the spiritual community of once a time. Okay. So, we have here, everything is always working out for me. Very cosmic card, artistically. And here we have the number 55 on this card, might I point out. And look at how it's like this star, this dream, it's a shooting star, and then there's this energetic ether just absorbing into the mind and being depicted into reality. This is a powerful art right there. You see what I mean? You wished on a shooting star, Spirit heard your prayer, gave you the idea, and you're taking inspired action in your reality. So let's see what this card says. Nothing ever goes wrong, because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. So was I just saying that, anyway, and that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. So the things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between things that are so right and your current perspective about them. Everything is always working out for me. I've heard from a few people in the spiritual community that they say this mantra in times when they just like can't even see the best outcome in it, like high stress is hitting them, and they say this like 3 times over and the outcome actually works in their best favor. Saying it aloud, saying in your head, everything is always working out in my best favor or for me. That is a very powerful mantra that could very much prove helpful for you if you're ever in a time of like, oh shit moments, you know what I mean? So I want to throw that out there. I've heard that before, but also I think that the message in this is very powerful, because like this is part of life. When you try out many things, you realize every experience you didn't like, you realize, well, now I get closer to what I do like. You know, everything in no answer, there's an answer as well. Okay, so we actually got 3 cards pop out for you for the Tree Magic Oracle. So we have 32, the Orange Tree. Ooh, the color orange might be significant to you, or you might be called to incorporate the color orange at this time for your healing benefit. I might want to add sacral chakra. Holy caboodle. So the message on the orange tree, because communication, your communication skills might be heightened at this time. That's what's coming through, but you will receive the unconditional bounties of heaven by following your heart. Yep, you healed, you went inward, and now the unconditional bounties of heaven on your journey to your happily ever after are a reward of that. And that's once again being stated. Once again, another confirmation. So you have Vitality, the Beech Tree. Vitality, I love that. Vitality and fortune smile upon you throughout opportunities that you create. That is definitely the visual representation of opportunities created. And wow, this is a powerful card. The Olive Tree with Peace. This freedom, this is truly your dream reality. Pile number 3s. So if you picked, I mean, congratulations on picking this pile, but congratulations on what you've done for yourself. Seriously. And what you're going to continue to do for yourself is going to be something that you should be grateful for every single moment of, because this journey is one of great peace, freedom, and virtue, just truly. So the message here on the olive tree is not only peace, but heaven sends a message of wisdom, restored to peace, faith, hope, and love. Harmony prevails. I want to also say that I'm pretty sure all of these cards in this deck do not have a sun in the background, and this would be the one closest to the sun, and I would also see the sun in that background art of the freedom. So let's just point that out for you, my dear pile number 3s. Is very much off into the sunset vibes. Very much off into the sunset. Okay, so I have these self-love cards, and I always feel like you guys probably understand the most, my beautiful bells, about how important self-love is to actually getting where you want. It's not doing the most towards that goal. Actually, the most you can do is probably for yourself. And then the inspired action will come very quickly after. So, pile number 3s, as you know, what are some self-love acts that you could be doing at this time and that, you know, may serve as confirmation to come up? Or what are some self-love acts that they could be doing that would very much help in their pursuit here? Oh, love this. Sound healing. Very, very powerful. The sound therapy is an incredibly powerful form of healing because it actually, different sounds vibrate at different energetic vibrations, hertz, so to speak. And as you know, certain chakras, but also certain emotions will vibrate at certain energies, so to speak. And sound healing actually will directly tap into certain areas you're working on. So that's being called singing. Sound therapy. Say no more. Nourish your temple. This is a very cosmic card. I love how the cosmos surrounds her. And this is very much calling to self-love as a whole, the act as a whole. Maybe invest in a beauty care regime, maybe create a self-care routine that you like. Wind down routine I have a wind down routine, so to say, where I make sure I do my skincare, I make sure I floss my teeth twice a day. It's like a struggle, but it's real, it needs to be done. And I make sure like I get all these things done. Like I'll put some stuff in my hair, I use the crystals for certain parts of my skin, and I like do a whole ass wind down routine. So that way when I step into bed, I'm not only comfy cozy, but I am, I'm ready to get my beauty sleep on. I don't know, it's just when you put into yourself, it exudes outwardly in an exponential rate. So then we have number 55, which I want to point out, we already had 55 under here with the Grow Your Vision pretty much card. Write a gratitude list. Yeah, there's going to be a lot at this time that you're going to find yourself looking back at and being very, very grateful for it, whether you see it now or not. So I and Spirit are also urging you to be grateful for every little thing that you can find, and maybe write a list about it, because gratitude is master manifestor energy. You also got the Magician somewhere underneath this, which is master manifestor once again. And I love how heal is poking out here underneath, because there's a lot of self-care that you've done for yourself, a lot of probably writing that I feel like you pile number 3 have already put in, and making manifesting lists, but journaling, self-reflecting. I feel like that's something you've definitely done. Maybe gratitude is the next step with that, but the next step for your healing journey is definitely sound therapy. That is coming through heavily, heavily. And we got communication, oh my gosh, which is a form of vibrational, anyway, that came through. Sorry, forgot to mention that. Anyway, so the last thing that I want to do for you, pile number 3, that I love doing is bibliomancy anyway. So I found this wonderful, cute book called Nature's Hidden Oracles recently. And I want to ask the pages of this book to call out any messages, any specific signs that could be proved synchronistic for pile number 3 that Spirit can send their way within the next 30 days as a nice little nudge or a nice little guide or a confirmation that they're on the right path in line with, maybe the message they received today. So, pile number 3. We got petal predictions. Interesting. So there might be something to do with flower petals being put in your path, or there might be something to do with a flower-specific message that comes across your way. Kind of like how today we started with the Glucksina, and they have a specific message. Every flower does, actually. The language of flowers is a long time thing that's been practiced. So there might be a specific message about a specific flower that comes to mind or comes across your way that sticks out for you. But I'm pretty sure that might be a marigold, that might be a daisy, and that flower I'm not familiar with. I've seen it, but the name is just, anyway. A flower's beauty and fragrance invites us to open up to the natural world things through our senses. The sensory relationship with flowers reconnects with our natural selves. Okay, so there's also might be a sensory message that comes through, something that reminds you of your past. It might be a floral scent specific to somewhere you grew up, or just some relationship you had with some person that's going to be significant for you. That's what's coming up. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you, pile number 3. There might be a certain smell or sense that comes through that's significant to your upbringing, I'm getting as well. So that might come through for you in the next 30 days. And if it does, I'm curious to see what it is. So leave a comment about it. But regardless, pile number 3, it was an absolute pleasure, my Bellas, to tap into your energies and let you know how you're doing, which is absolutely great, might I add. So keep on doing what's wonderfully you, and I look forward to seeing you in your next reading. So until then, ciao, my Bellas. Hello, pile number 4s, and welcome to your reading. So right off the bat, you picked the calling card of Venice Mallow, but I also love it. With this card came out the illustrator, the creator card. So there's something definitely about you that you're creating your new reality, for sure. You're definitely aware of the control you have and the power you have in creating your own reality, which I love. And the stone the crystal that you all picked is the lapis lazuli, and lapis is very highly regarded as a divine communication stone. It was also considered in the Egyptian times a very prominent stone that was used, and it was used royally as well. So the Venice Mallow communicates a message of delicate, fleeting beauty. So when life is not coming up roses, look to the weeds and find beauty hidden within them. I love Young. So I think there's something about a beauty that very much you can observe, a beauty about. There's something that also getting grateful for every little thing to help co-create a new, better reality. I see that as well as a message, but let's get into what the book was saying, right? I love what the extra messages here are. So, members of the hibiscus family, mallow plants were greatly valued for their medicinal healing properties by ancient Romans, Arabic physicians, and Chinese herbalists. So very healing. So there's something that you're communicating that's very healing for you at this time too. So Plinty says, whoever shall take a spoonful of the mallow, shall that day be free from all disease that may come from him. So in North America, I love that. Actually, that's kind of like a spell. Whoever shall take a spoonful of sweet mallow shall be free of all disease that day. That's interesting. You might be doing a lot of self-healing spells. There might be something to do with communication as well, like saying and speaking are spells. Everything you say is a vibrational spell that's put out there. That can be confirmed for you on many spiritual platforms and literatures. So that's very interesting too, I see. As coming up. In North America, Venice mallow is such a ubiquitous wildflower that it is considered by some to be an invasive weed. Yet its beauty nonetheless captivates with shimmery purple eye in the center of its translucent ivory petals. The luminous flower only blooms for an hour each day. Thus, it is also known as flower of the hour. To the Victorians, the Venice mallow signified delicate but fleeting beauty. So the inspirational message is your eyes are capable of seeing beauty in most commonplace things. Your tender nature appreciates those fleeting moments that make your heart flutter. So you're either someone who's very good at seeing the gratitude or being grateful for everything in life, sitting in that blessed energy, or maybe that's something you're being called to do. But there's something too about speaking spells of health and wellness into your existence, for sure, since the Venice mallow is something that signifies healing and is also a plant that does have traditions of healing. But there's something with the communication, saying out loud, that is going to have a divine reward. Very much you're influencing miraculous healing at this time is definitely where I'm getting. Which is great. That's amazing. You're co-creating too with this creator card coming out. So for the next 30 days, and I have my Halloween tarot here, which I love. It's like one of my favorite cards, especially with the season coming through. Okay, so we already have the Knight of Pumpkins coming out. 5 of Ghosts. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, what else do we have? Spirit, what do you want? Pile number four to know at this time. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice, which major arcanally speaking, you're definitely on your way to a successful outcome, no matter what the endeavor and the mindset. So we have the Four of Pumpkins, and then we have the Eight of Imps. So right away, somebody who sits in that seat of gratitude I'm getting could be beneficial for you, pile number fours. So you might be aware of what that practice looks like, but you might not be aware of how to impart it. But by doing so, for sure, there's going to be a lot of abundant outcomes. Now, they might not happen quickly because pumpkins aren't always the fastest suit, but with the sense of gratitude, the days over time obviously fly by much quicker. Like, you just enjoy each day much more. And Four of Pumpkins. So there's not only, the Knight of Pumpkins is heading in the direction of abundance, but the Four of Pumpkins is currently setting and sowing the seeds of abundance and in the direction of abundance. The Eight of Wands is also, funny enough, a very fast card in tarot, but fastly moving forward in the direction of your passions. So I'm very implored to say for you, pile number four, that there's a lot of like groundwork in place right now. There's a lot of initiation phases taking place right now, and there's a lot of initial spell work being done, so to say, might I say, at this time for you, pile number four. But it's starting with sitting in a seat of gratitude, seeing the beauty in the little things. And I love how in this card, the ghost is just not. The ghost and the pumpkin, they're just looking at what's fallen. They're not looking at maybe be it the beautiful stars in the sky, maybe be it, oh my God, all the spirits have probably much better things to say than to wallow in that. I don't know, like this just, I'm just getting this energy of like sitting in gratitude, being blessed, like living as if every day is Thanksgiving type of energy really will get you a positive outcome. It's going to propel you in a positive outcome that might not be as fastly received at first, but then will take off. I'm seeing that take off energy heavily. So we also got the Five of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Four of Cups. I kind of want to do 3, 4, 5 because that makes more sense to me intuitively at this time. So the Three of Cups, you are going to be, so part of being grateful doesn't mean like not rewarding yourself. And I think once you start taking the right steps in the right direction towards your journey that feels right to your soul, there's going to be moments where you're going to feel inspired to celebrate along the way. And this is Spirit's little way of saying, yeah, do it. And with the Four of Cups and the Four of Pumpkins, the Four of Cups is primarily a card that also, the Five and Four of Cups are similar in that sense, but it's like you're going to take root and you're going to start on this journey within the next 30 days, this journey that feels aligned with your soul, that came from all the spell work or the initial phases that you're doing now. And you're not going to see so much reward of it at first in the material realm, but this card is a reminder to let you know that like all that healing that you're, you know, working on, all that goals and dream life that you're working on, it's going to be attained. You might not see it, so this is a reminder that you might not see it 30 days from now. You might not see it all. There's still 3 other cups that you're very much capable of changing your perspective to see the grateful, what you can be grateful for in those moments. And I'm sure that there will be plenty of. And with the Five of Wands, I'm getting the sense too that there might be a little internal conflict. There might be a little internal conflict that you're facing because of that, because of the time. But the time is gonna be, it's not gonna feel as slow once again once you change your perspective. I'm feeling for you pile number fours. But anyway, let's jump into this because the message is pretty clear here. Is don't let up. Don't let your mind. Let your anxiety be the thief of your dreams here. Keep holding true your dreams. Don't let them go because you're taking the right steps and changing your perspective. I'm getting that. I'm just being shown the Hangman, which is all about a new perspective. So definitely getting that energy for you. Pile number 4. So we have mystery. Woo-hoo. That is fun. That is so fun. And the 2 cats oh, okay. Here's a synchronicity I just saw. Lapis lazuli is very much indicated to be regal, royal in Egyptian time. Do we not have this royal queen crown and these 2 cats, which are heavily Egyptian and were also positive Egyptian figures with the cats? But I also want to point out that at the bottom of the deck here, for this tarot deck, we have the Lovers, which is 2s. Once again, coming through. So there's definitely a divine partnership outcome for you in the end of this. I want to point out, or not at the end of this, but along the journey, so to say, because life is just a continuing healing up and down journey. Ebb and flow, right? But mystery, that is powerful. That is very powerful. It also gives me energy that Spirit isn't going to show you all the outcomes yet. They're going to show you along the way, kind of like breadcrumbs, what is going to be the best for you. Like how, like you're going to get every step of the way granted to you, but every step of the way. You're not going to get the whole game plan splayed out for you. And Spirit does that because honestly, when you're like at the edge of your seat, the moment where it all comes together is just that much more awe-inspiring, jaw-dropping. It's just like, whoa, type stuff, right? So, we also have, everything is always working out for me. That's wild. That came up also for another pile, but the number 55, which is great change. Great change. Please, if you don't see it yet, that is okay. But there's like a wish upon a star moment that you have in this artistically depicted. And I really just love the artwork on this card where everything is always working out for me. This wish upon a star has etherically manifested in your mind in the form of divinely inspired inspiration. And there's divine inspired action as well that's going to take place and take form in your material reality. This is a confirmation for you that what you're thinking of, what you're working on, what you're dreaming of is going to come true, even if you don't see it. And there's a reason why Spirit is keeping the whole plan kind of mysterious to you. Kind of mysterious to me too. I'm not exactly getting what it could be specifically that you're working on, but hey, that is okay. That is okay. There's something specifically that you're working on that you do see in the cards. Hey, comment that below. I'm always down for different opinions and expanding on these piles, for sure. For sure. Okay. So Spirit for pile number 4, is there anything else you would like to say? And yes, there is. Love that. So I intend to co-create from my place of positive attraction. Yeah, grateful. Dang. When you're grateful, you're powerfully attracting. The gratitude is one of the best places to sit when you're trying to masterfully manifest. That is just one of those master manifestor tips, so to say. And 40. So maybe not in the next 30 days, but in the next 40 days, there's something about things really picking up the pace here towards the end of this initial cycle here. But the individual creators who are coming together must be in a place of positive attraction before they come together, or nothing positive can come out of the co-creation. So if you are negatively focused and not feeling good, you can only attract others who are in the same state of negative attraction. That is why looking for a mate from a place of insecurity, lack of anything can never really bring you the mate you really want, but instead brings one who amplifies your current lack. That is fascinating. So there might be a change in your environment too that takes place, something that some people, places, or things that need to drop off so that the new light, better, can come in. Cleaning. I feel like whenever I clean, like every time I clean out the dust, I'm saying, all right, thank you for clearing away. So now in place of the dirt and dust can come new light and love in this space energetically. And that's kind of the energy I'm also getting, but this gratitude with the hands up, with the hands open, like, oh my, you know, that surrender energy to spirit. And there might be something of that coming to you at around 40 days energetically from when you watch this. There might be just like a full-on surrender moment and a full-on gratitude, truly accepting the energy of being grateful and blessed. But you're also, I want to point out too that you're becoming very aware of the power of your words. There's something about that with this divine communication stone you're being called to or attracted to. If you don't have lapis lazuli, by the way, I definitely suggest you get it, because there's high potency powerful with this stone and communication skills of the like. But when you speak or feel or deal with negativity, that's unfortunately what is attracted. You're always manifesting, even before you were aware of manifesting, and you know, you couldn't, your reality is a mirror of how you energetically believe, feel, or see. So when you get to terms with that, now you can create better from that. And that's something you've come to terms with. That is something powerful that you have come to terms with. Pile number 4. And that is impressive. It's something that is going to serve you very positively moving forward in life. You can't ever go backwards once you know that. You literally only go forward. And it's pretty powerful. So I have here the Tree Magic Oracle deck, and I just love now, especially since trees are going to be going through the most change in these seasons to come, being that it is September when I'm filming this. I think that their energies are most powerfully to be spoken of or for at this time. So here we have it, the Pear Tree, good relationships. And these are heavenly trees. That's beautiful. You got the Ash Tree as well with influence. So number 9, Master Healer number. Fruitful, long-lasting success is certain. Bringing union, partnership, harmony, a meeting, and a love match. Wow, that is, and that good relationships. Yeah, I know that there's like something mysterious about somebody who's a significant other for you. You might be with somebody, I'm not saying they're not the one, but if you're not with someone, or if you're with someone and they don't exactly match your vibe, or they don't light that like whoa spark for you romantically, that's something spirit is kind of like holding up, not in the air, but just holding in, you know, energetic works in the background for you to let you know. I feel like that's the mystery that spirit has, is not your success, because you're successful or you're working on that and that's very much guaranteed, but more so spirit wants to let you know of there's a romantic, your soulmate, they're working on your soulmate in the background. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. There's a divine union of that partnership for you. Congratulations, very much. And then we have the Tree of Life. Influence, the Ash Tree. From your innermost center of your psyche, your good influence radiates far, spreading light. Whew. And I love how we got the influence with the right around this 8 of Wands, which is so fast moving, expansive almost. The wands can be creatively expansive for sure, passionately expanding. So this is like, there's definitely a powerful project you're working on, and there's definitely success awarded from what you're putting into the works of. And I think there's going to be some type of romantic outcome as you traverse on the journey here of your project, of your soul alignment. Something is going to really speak to you. But I have some final cards here for you, my pile number 4s, to do with self-love. And I love calling out the messages of self-love because as you might be very much aware on your current journey and all the work you're currently putting in, that to yourself is going to be the most beneficial. So we have journal. And we got a rainbow in here, which is just a sign of blessings. Yin yang, peace, crystals, incorporating. If you don't have lapis lazuli, you should get it. Just play, just humor me, so to say, right? And we have use your hands. Well, there is so much in life that can be crafted with the use of your hands. And I think this card also came out for another pile. So if you were drawn to another pile, play your hand at that, see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out for you. But the obvious here is the crafting pottery and ceramics and just decorating your home with different shapes, odds and ends, getting into feng shui. I'm seeing as well, just like home decor too, could be something that, I mean, with the fall season, I've already started decorating my house with so much fun fall stuff because I cannot help myself. Why would I? Like, I want to be in this fun energy for the long term. But journal. There's a lot of reflection and there's so much healing, by the way, that comes from journaling. You can just write a list, by the way, off the top of my head of 5 things that you're grateful for every morning. Be simple as, I'm so grateful for the lungs that are healthy enough to allow me to breathe today. I'm so grateful for the kidneys that function healthfully today. I don't know, but just if you gotta keep it simple, just to keep it simple, it's so powerful. There's no denying that. So on to the last part here for our reading today. Pile number 4 is, I got this really cute book from Barnes & Noble called Nature's Hidden Oracles. And I think the symbolistic messages that you can look for is what I'm really being called to ask in this bibliomantic, like pick a page portion, but messages that are going to come through that I ask Spirit to make prominent for you in the next 30-40 days for you energetically. Or so keep an open mind whether this is something that's important to you now, or keep an open mind if it's not. And there's a highest chance that Spirit's going to send you these signs that we're inviting them at this time along your path and along your journey in the frequent of the 30-40 days. So, ooh, so fun. We got leaf messages and oracle of the trees. So I think similar to how what I'm getting is Spirit will put a feather in front of you or on your path, and there's certain colors of the feathers, there's certain meanings, but definitely when you get a feather across your path, it's an angelic message, right? Yeah. So with the times to come, especially being that it fall wherever you're from, but where I'm from, we get our leaves in the East Coast here, and in Pennsylvania, our leaves, they turn all the colors of oranges, reds, yellows, browns. They turn color and they fall. So what I'm getting the idea is there's going to be a certain, like, look out for certain leaves in your path. Maybe right now dedicate a certain color that you would like Spirit to send leaf messages to you through in the next 30-40 days, but the leaves are going to fall. So this is such a fire message, is to be getting messages from the leaves, and I'm getting like along your path or falling. So in here we have, when I'm running through the forest near my home, part of the circuit turns into an uphill trek, and it gets harder to keep going. The beauty of the woodland dropping out of my awareness as I struggle ahead. One time, I found a distraction method that led to a divination technique that I use today. I call it leaf focus. And it helps me stay connected with where I was and why I was running. So resolving to notice only leaves, I began to see the tiny serrated edges on some, the star shapes of others, the shiny greens, and I slowed down to take it in all. I felt wider, able to let go of the goal of getting to the top. It was enough to be just present. The leaf focus soon became my go-to on uphill runs, meanderings in parks, forests later, and as a divination practice. That is beautiful. I love that. So this author pretty much came up with this technique on her own and kind of honed it in as a practice. Really emphasizing something that I believe in, which is just, if you don't have a skill, no matter what it is, you use it to improve it, and that's as simple as that. Anything is a talent, or can become your talent. So everything is always working out for me. I intend to co-create from a place of positivity, presence, gratitude. Pile number 4, I'm really getting a very positive outcome for you. And keep an open mind to any leaf messages that you might be getting from Spirit, or maybe set this time to like create a special one about leaves with Spirit, since fall is dedicated to the falling of leaves. But wow, pile number 4, this was a really fun reading, and I'm really grateful to have tapped into your energy, my bellas. So until next time, I'll bid you adieu. Ciao.